One fact for every trainer class in Pokemon, ranging from where female swimmers hide their Pokeballs, to how rich a rich boy actually is, to the original trainer class that Professor Juniper was. Let's do this. Beauty. The beauty class was censored in America, because originally in Gold and Silver, she had a miniskirt with a winking expression, which was apparently a bit too erotic. Biker. For some reason in Black and White, when you hold down the run button and not even run, the bikers will start biking faster. The egos of these trainers, I swear. Birdkeeper. This Birdkeeper right here is literally stuck on this platform in the Kanto region, because he says, I rode my bird Pokemon here, but my birds can't fly me back. What a pathetic bird specialist. Black Belt. As it turns out, the guy who got Hyper Beamed by Lance's Dragonite is a Black Belt, and is still alive to tell the tale, because in Pokemon Masters, he recounts his experience with a Pokefan. Bugcatcher. There is a Bugcatcher in the Johto Battle Tower that is named Tajiri, which is a reference to the creator of Pokemon Satoshi Tajiri, who was inspired by his hobby of catching bugs as a child. Burglar. The Japanese name of the Burglar trainer class is called the Post-Fire Burglar, which is a reference to a common trend in Japan where burglars will trigger fire alarms to evacuate buildings to go on a stealing rampage. And this is why these trainers mostly have Fire-type Pokemon, as well as a coughing to create a smokescreen to escape. Channeler. In the original games, there's a channeler at the Pokemon Tower that says, "Give me your soul," which is probably the most terrifying quote in all of Pokemon, and it was so creepy that it was even changed in the remakes. Chief. Chief is an unused trainer class from the original games, where it was meant for the president of the Sylph Company. So I guess at one point we were supposed to battle him. Maybe he was the original antagonist instead of Giovanni. Ace Trainer. On Route 225 in the Sinnoh remakes, there's an Ace Trainer that has a Tropius inside of a Cherish Ball, which is a reference to the very first event Pokemon that was distributed inside of a Cherish Ball, the Shokaten Tropius. And along with that, this might be the only NPC in all of Pokemon that has a Pokemon inside of a Cherish Ball, so these balls canonically exist. Roughneck. In the Sinnoh games, there's a Roughneck trainer named Kirby in the Lost Tower, and he only uses one Pokemon, a Cleffa, which is the complete opposite of what this trainer class usually has, since they usually have rough-looking Pokemon. And honestly, I love it. And before we continue the rest of the facts, I want to show you my top 10 best looking champions for this mobile game, and we're going to go over the rarest and most powerful heroes. So at number 10, we have Night Queen Crixia, who across the board is apparently the best champion in the game, so she gotta be on the list. At number 9, we have Carnage the Anarch, who is known for chaos, pandemonium, and bedlam, for whatever that means. At number 8, we have Gallus Bloodcrest, an epic warrior who is a giant chicken, and I like chicken. At number 7, we have Flornine the Mechanist, who kind of looks like a Torbjorn with a stick, and a sick hairdo. At number 6, we have Garl Bloodmaul, who definitely goes around saying it's blood mauling time, with his giant blood maul. At number 5, we have the Calamitous, who is an amalgamation of doomed, tortured souls. Just look at them being all tortured. At number 4, we have Gizmak the Terrible, and I put him here because he's terribly funny looking. At number 3, we have Sick Fun the Nilfilm, who is both good and evil. At number 2, we have Arbus the Stonethorn, who I would totally thorn, if you know what I mean. And at number 1, we have Androck the Glorious, and I just like his armor a lot, so he's the best. And you can play all of these mythical champions in Raid Shadow Legends. And if you download Raid today using my QR code and then head to springhunt.plarium.com, you can win real life prizes like a gaming console or an Amazon gift card with a total value of $10,000. Or in-game loot like legendary champions or skill tomes. Raid is also giving everyone a free legendary champion, Chronicle Adeline. And all you gotta do is log in for 7 days between April 11th and July 8th. And once you reach level 25, you'll get another starter pack that includes Teriel and Rector's Wrath. And along with that, if you use promo code SPRINGHUNT24, you'll get silver and much more. Oh, and join my clan Dobbs Nation because I'm the only one in it. That's me, right there, Ethan Dobbs. So download Raid today using the QR code or link down below in the description. And with that, let's get back into the video. Engineer. The Japanese name for the engineer class is Old Man Electrician, but in the original games, it was just Old Man. So to a Japanese player, an old man just looked like a random dude holding a wrench that looked crazy. Yep, right there is definitely an old man. Fisherman. The hardest trainer to beat in any Pokemon game is actually a fisherman from Pokemon Stadium. And what makes him so dang strong is the fact that he uses level 20 Alakazam or level 20 Dragonair when your Pokemon have a level cap of 15. And keep in mind, Alakazam was basically a light Mewtwo back in the original games. And a 5 level difference at that level is just insane. So yeah, this battle was just something else. Gambler. Every gambler in the Let's Go games uses a Pokemon with a one-hit KO move, which is very gambly of them. Gentleman. The Pokemon that Ash owned for the shortest amount of time was originally owned by a gentleman, where Ash traded his Butterfree for the gentleman's Raticate and then traded it back at the end of the episode, with his Raticate lasting a whopping 6.5 minutes. Hiker. There's a very awkward and creepy conversation with the hiker that takes place in the Japanese versions of Black and White, where the hiker during the Ferris wheel cutscene says, "Ho ho, sure is humid. Like a sauna, boy, I tell you what. Ah, so hot. You're really sweating, boy. By the way, boy, you ever had a lover?" Yeah, pretty weird stuff, and I feel pretty weird just saying that out loud. Picnicker. In the Johto game, there's a picnicker on Route 43 who will only give you their number if the player has a Clefairy in their party. And then occasionally she will send you gifts like a Pokédoll or a pink bow, which both resembles Clefairy's lightness. Juggler. In the original games, a juggler from the Future City gym had one line that was considered famous in Pokemon fandom, where he would say, "Drop my balls," when defeated. Unfortunately, this was changed to something more generic in the remakes. Lass. The reason why there's a random lass in the original Pokemon opening is because in the Japanese lyrics, the singer says, "Even in fire and water and grass and forest and ground and clouds, or even under a girl's skirt." And you can even hear a girl squeal in the Japanese opening. Just listen. Which explains a lot now. Pokemaniac. The Pokemaniac trainer class has some of the coolest artwork. We've seen them wear a Slowpoke costume, an unconfirmed green dragon Pokemon costume, and of course the bottom half of a Charizard costume. And the newest Pokemaniac just has a variety of original Pokemon on his vest, probably representing the Pokemania from the 90s, which looks pretty cool. Psychic. In X and Y, there's a psychic named Robert who makes a Dragon Ball Z reference, where he says, "Wow, you and your Pokemon power levels are incredible. They're over 9,000 for sure." Which is a nod to Vegeta flipping out over Goku's power level. So this guy really is a psychic. Rocker. The Rocker trainer class is based on the 1989 music group The Dicky Groove, which in English translates to the Electric Groove. And in Japanese, the Rocker trainer is known as the Electric Group trainer, which sounds very similar. Sailor. The sailors of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness have the words "Feel Good" tattooed on their knuckles, which is a reference to the popular Hold Fast tattoo that sailors used to wear during bygone times. Scientists. Nearly every artificial Pokemon was created by a scientist, with the Voltorb line being created by the Sylph Company, the Porygon line being created by the Cinnabar Lab in Kanto, Mewtwo being created by the scientists of Team Rocket, Casper being created by the Weather Institute of Hoenn, Genesect being created by the scientists of Team Plasma, the Type No line being created by the Aether Foundation, and Magearna being created by a scientist from 500 years ago. Super Nerd. In Pokemon Stadium, the Super Nerd trainer class is simply known as Nerds, and all the Pokemon they use know self-destructing moves. So I guess spamming self-destruct or explosion is a nerdy way to battle, according to Game Freak that is. Swimmer. This swimmer in the Unova region says, "If I'm wearing a bikini, where do I put my Pokeballs?" Teehee, women's secret. And seeing how Green hid her Pokeballs in the manga, I'm going to assume it's their bra. Tamer. The Tamer trainer class is a glimpse of what Pokemon was planned to look like. Since before Pokeballs were created, Game Freak had trainers use whips to control their Pokemon instead. Which is why a lot of trainers, like the Tamer, originally wielded whips. Like the cool trainers Q-Ball, Rocker, Team Rocket, and even Sabrina. Youngster. Youngster Joey from the Johto region is a liar! Because it was proven that his Rattata is not top percent, but actually bottom percent, since the in-game data shows that his Rattata has 0 IVs. Border. The Border trainer class was specifically made for Price's gym, since they cannot be found anywhere else, except for the Seafoam Islands in the Johto remakes, and there are only 2 of them. Fire Breather. There's a Fire Breather in the Johto games named Dick, so his full name is Fire Breather Dick. And cool enough, after you defeat him in battle, his sprite changes to gray, showing that he got burned from losing. Guitarist. The names of the guitarist trainers in Pokemon are probably based on real-life guitarists, like guitarists Iggy, Jimmy, Les, and Kirk, who are probably named after Iggy Pop, Jimi Hendrix, Les Paul, and Kirk Hammett. Along with that, the guitarist sprite in the Hoenn games is probably based on Lane Staley, who was the lead vocalist for Alice in Chains. Komodo Girl. The Komodo Girl trainer class are trainers who specialize in EV evolutions, which led fans to theorize that the Kalos gym leader Valerie was a Komodo Girl herself. Since her ace Pokemon is a Sylveon, a tourist one of the hotel says she's from the Johto region, and in Masters EX, Ethan mistakes Valerie for being a Komodo Girl. Medium. The Medium trainer class was censored in America, because originally they held on to religious bees to exorcise evil spirits away. But in the international release, the bees were taken away, so now it just looks like a crazy woman having a heart attack. Officer. The police officer trainer class have their own logo in the Galar region, which looks like this. A Grapplock with a police uniform looking all official and such. Pokemon Trainer. There are only 3 trainers in the Johto region that have the Pokemon Trainer class, with the obvious one being Red, and the others being Cal and Carrie, a traveling Pokemon trainer that looks exactly like Gold, and a little girl who loves to send mystery gifts, who also looks exactly like Gold. And they even have starter Pokemon too. Pokefan. In every region that the female Pokefan trainer class appears in, she is seen with different Pokedolls, with them being Clefairy and Johto, Welmer and Hoenn, Bonsly and Sinnoh, Sewaddle and Unova, and Flabebe, Skitty, Shuppet, and Pancham and Kalos. Sage. There are 3 sages that are only found in Pokemon Crystal, known as the Wise Trio, where all of them use a Noctowl, and one of the 3 Kanto EV evolutions. And along with that, their first names Ken, Ro, and Shu is a reference to the 1983 manga Fist of the North Star, which is kind of a random fact. Also, epic trading card art. School Kid. May's younger brother in the anime, Max, is based on the School Kid trainer class. He even does the School Kid trainer pose when he first appears in the anime. Skier. Certain skiers in Pokemon don't know how to ski properly, like this one. Teacher. All teachers in the main series games are female, but originally this trainer class was meant to have a male as well. Since the 1997 Space Roll demo, there was a female and male sprite made. And then again in 1999 in the Space Roll demo, another male sprite was made, and it looks pretty cool. Twins. The twins in Coney City are related to Lana, with their names being Harper and Sarah, which are the same names that Lana's twin sisters are called in the anime. And this is one of the very few times where a generic trainer in the games is related to a main character. I can't think of another one actually. Mystery Man. There are only 2 trainers with this trainer class, with one of them being Eugene, who was originally the Mystical Man trainer, and Ardos, some random Cypher admin from Gale of Darkness. But how could they be mysterious when we know who they are? Aroma Lady. All Aroma Ladies exclusively use Grass-type Pokemon. Well, all except for Thyme in the Kalos region, who is a rebel, who uses a Goodra. Battle Girl. In the Unova region, there are no trainer classes who are Ice-type specialists, so to fill the Ice-type gym with trainers, Game Freak used Battle Girls and Black Belts as replacements, which is pretty random, but I guess it makes sense since Bryson seems to be some kind of a karate guy. Bug Maniac. There was a Bug Maniac e-reader card, with the trainer being Bug Maniac Irvin, who had a level 90 Beautifly, a level 92 Dustox, and a level 91 Masquerain, probably making him the strongest Bug Maniac we've seen. Collector. There's an official shiny hunter in the Pokemon anime, with the trainer being Shane Seeker, who is supposed to be the collector trainer class. And Shane is a shiny Psyduck, Onix, Swinub, Slykoth, and a Bagon, and I guess a blue Rotom photo if that counts. Dragon Tamer. One can say that Dragon Tamers were inspired by Lance, since in the first 2 generations, Lance was the champion of the Kanto and Johto regions. And then Dragon Tamer started appearing in Generation 3 in the Hoenn games, and honestly the cape is what gives it away. Expert. There are only 2 expert trainers in the entirety of Ruby and Sapphire, with one being Expert Shelby, who is located in Jagged Pass, and the other being Expert Timothy, who is located on Route 115. And man, I guess they really are experts, since they're the only ones around. Hex Maniac. One of the oddest events in Pokemon featured a Hex Maniac who appeared out of nowhere, where she walked without stepping and then says, "No, you're not the one." And to this day, we still don't know the secret behind this weird occurrence. Maybe we'll find out in Legends ZA. Interviewers. Apparently the interviewer trainers are the best way to farm XP in the Generation 3 games, since they will always battle you and will appear in a triangle on routes 111, 118, and 120. And they even give a good amount of Pokedollars too. Kindler. Every Kindler trainer carries a Pokemon that is strong against the Fire type, like a Ground type Numel or a Water type Wingull. And this is because in the case of a fire spreading, they will always have a way to put it out. Lady. There's a lady trainer named Selfie who is probably one of the richest random NPCs in Pokemon, since both of her purses are holding golden nuggets, and she will give the player a free expensive item if the player shows her a specific Pokemon. Oh, and she has a butler named Sebastian, so you already know she's swimming in Pokedollars. Ninja Boy. Apparently this Ninja Boy helped come up with the idea of having steam in Flannery's gym, and I wonder why. Old Couple. The Japanese name of the Old Couple trainer class is Golden Anniversary, which means that this old couple has been together for over 50 years. Parasol Lady. Most Parasol Ladies use water-type Pokemon with a strategy of using the rain, which I guess makes sense since she does have a parasol, but parasols are generally used for blocking out the sun, not the rain. Pokemon Breeder. Before the Pokemon Breeder trainer class was a thing, a Pokemon Breeder trading card was printed in the very first set, and this is what the trainer looked like. And for comparison, this is what the Pokemon Breeders look like now. Pokemon Ranger. In the Kalos region, veteran trainers look like Pokemon Rangers who have grown up. And here's a side-by-side comparison to see for yourself. So I guess Pokemon Rangers become veterans. Rich Boy. There's a Rich Boy in Pokemon Coliseum that uses a Regice on his team, along with a bunch of random Pokemon like Shuckle, Umbreon, Sableye, Skarmory, and a Swampert. But my question is, how much did it cost the kid's parents to buy a literal legendary Pokemon? You really do be rich. Oh, and there's another Rich Boy who owns a Kyogre. Again, how much would this actually cost? Ruin Maniac. There's a Ruin Maniac in the Sinnoh games who is so obsessed with ruins that he literally named this cave that he found the Maniac Tunnel, or in Japanese, the Ruin Maniac Hole. And after the player sees a certain amount of unknown, he will rename the cave to Digging Maniac, which is pretty funny. Triathlete. Triathlete trainers have 3 different sprites, one for running, one for biking, and one for swimming. And along with that, each triathlete has a different specialty, with them being fast Pokemon, electric Pokemon, and water Pokemon respectively. Tuber. This is Tuber Ricky's trainer profile from the Hoenn region. It says that his strategy is, I don't know, I'll try hard. And he introduces himself as, it's not like I can't swim, I just like my inner tube. Winstraight. The Winstraight trainer class is exclusive to the Winstraight family. Where on Route 111, you can battle the entire family in a row and win straight. And what's cool is that there's an ace trainer on Victory Road that is named Vito, and he happens to be related to the Win Straight family. So this guy's full title is technically Win Straight Ace Trainer Vito, which has a nice ring to it. Young Couple. This young couple from the Johto remakes has a Cloyster and an Onyx. I wonder what Game Freak was trying to say here. Artists. In the Battle Subway in the Unova region, there's an artist named Go, and Vincent in Japanese, who has a Sephora, which is obviously a reference to Vincent van Gogh in a Sunflower painting series. Harlequin. For some reason, Harlequins have two unique themes. One for when you battle them in Berg's gym, and another for when you battle them outside his gym, which actually might be the only case where a random trainer class has more than one theme. Cyclist. This very brave cyclist is riding on a moving battle subway, and he even says, "Both my legs feel broken," the mark of a true cyclist. This guy lives hard. Elder. The Elder class is the only trainer class introduced in the Johto remakes, and the only person who has this class is Lee, the leader of the 3 stages in Sprout Tower. And with this trainer class, his name is a pun, because the full title is Elder Lee, because he's old. Idol. There is only one trainer with the Idol trainer class as well, which is Grace from the Sinnoh region, who is basically a teenage girl dressed up as a pop star on the Droop Life TV channel, and her job is basically to be an idol and promote stuff. And cool enough, the only 2 Pokemon that she uses are Pikachu and Clefairy, 2 very idol-like Pokemon that have both been the mascot of Pokemon. Jogger. In Pokemon Go, you can get the Jogger achievement by walking 10 kilometers in the game, which means that every Jogger trainer had to have done this before battling you. Talk about commitment. Pokekid. Ariel in Fulmora Town is the one Pokekid that can be rematched, and before each battle with him, he will say Pikachu, which may sound like nothing at first, but this actually means something in Pikachu language. And according to this Bulbapedia page, Pikachu is the saying that Pikachu says after Ash achieves something. So maybe he's saying, "Let's go," in Pikachu language. Veteran. The veteran trainers in Pokemon Bat Rio almost look identical to the ones from the Sinnoh games. Well, except for one thing. They have a wicked mustache. Waiter. Waiters have appeared in 3 different regions so far, but weirdly enough, only one of them can be battled in an actual restaurant, which is this guy, Waiter Maxwell in the Striaton Gym. The other 2 regions have waiters that are found in random locations, like the Battle Tower in Sinnoh and Route 9 in Unova. What are they waiting out there for? Maid. One of the coolest sprites in Pokemon is this ghost maid from the Pokestar Studios, and it is known as the Weird Light, and just look at it, she is so majestic. Backpacker. Professor Juniper and her father, Professor Cedric Juniper, used to be backpackers, according to this random NPC in the Unova games. Office Worker. In the Unova region, there are 2 different male office worker sprites, one for the average lower class office worker, and another for the boss office worker. The lower class one looks so stressed and worried. It's actually sad. Dancer. In the Galar region, Dancer trainers wear the Steel-type cap for some reason, even though none of them use any Steel-type Pokemon on their teams. Maybe the cap is a reference to the hardcore metallic music they listen to. Game Freak. The Game Freak staff member Iwao in Sun and Moon is the only Game Freak trainer to have a unique sprite and model, and this is what it looks like. Janitor. In Black and White, the president of the battle company disguises himself as a janitor to trick his employees, and it's revealed in the sequels that his grandson, School Kid Neil, had taken his place as a president. So basically this is the Pokemon equivalent of Undercover Boss. Preschooler. This preschooler in the Unova daycare says, "Rawr, I'll run. You gonna chase me? You run. Am I gonna chase you?" Then out of nowhere he becomes Aristotle and says, "Change your perspective, and reality changes." Like, okay, who is this kid again? Ace Surfer. The Ace Surfer is an unused trainer class that was intended for X and Y, and honestly, it would have been perfect for the next games, Sun and Moon. Delinquent. In Pokemon Go, a delinquent refers to a trainer who has caught at least 10 dark-type Pokemon, which is very edgy of them. Fairy Tale Girl. Fairy Tale Girls are some of the creepiest trainers, because on top of often being paired with Hex Maniacs, they will say the creepiest things. Like, "I won't tell you how old I really am, but I can say I'm old enough to be your mother." Or, "Shh, rest now and close your eyes. You won't ever need to open them again." And, "Oh phooey, don't you ever come back. If you do, we're gonna end you, okay?" And finally, all you have to do is ignore reality, and you can stay young forever too. Yeah, they're creepy. Furiso Girl. In the Battle Chateau, Furiso Girl Yolanda mentions that her outfit costs about 200 big nuggets, which would equate to about 2 million Pokédollars. So forget Lady Selfie and her 2 Persians with her nuggets, this is probably the richest random NPC in Pokemon. Proprietor. The only trainer to have this class is Inver, who facilitates inverse battles in the games, where his super effective moves become not very effective, and vice versa. And he mentions that he's able to make this battle possible due to his psychic powers, which is another cool feat of a superhuman in Pokemon. You should totally watch my full video here. Sky Trainer. The Sky Trainer School is in Vaudeville Town, which is the hometown of the Avengers manga's protagonist, where Y has aspirations to one day become a Sky Trainer. Battle Legend. The Battle Legend trainer class consists of only 2 trainers, Red and Blue, who are supposed to be around 18 years old in the Sun and Moon games. And Red is a single Battle Legend, while Blue is a double Battle Legend. Coach Trainer. The Coach Trainer have their own card in the training card game, and this is what it looks like, where it features Zekrom and Pikachu, who are a tag team duo in the game. Cook. Every Pokemon used by a cook in Ultra Sun and Moon is holding the item Leftovers, which adds a lot of flavor to these trainers, pun intended. Pokemon Center Lady. The player's mom in Black and White 2 used to be a Pokemon Center Lady in Nabasa in Miss Charlton City. So there's a chance that this Pokemon Center Lady right here could be the player's mom. Sightseer. The only NPC to ever have a shiny Pokemon on their team is Sightseer Marcus, who is found inside the Pokemon Center in Seafolk Village. Karate Master. One could say that the Karate Master trainer class is a tier below the Gym Leader trainer class, since the only person to have this class is Koichi, the original gym leader of Saffron City, before Sabrina built her gym and took over. Worker. The Worker trainer class is one of the very few trainer classes to be introduced in a side game and brought to the main series games, where in this case, Worker Trainer first appeared in Pokemon Coliseum, and has been in the game since then. Model. The models in Sword and Shield wear a coat that looks like Liepard's fur. And fun fact, the two models you encounter in this game specialize in bug-type Pokemon, so they probably hunted Liepard with a super effective bug-type Pokemon to get their coats. Cafe Master. The Japanese name for this trainer class is just Master. So basically this guy is the only trainer to officially become a Pokemon Master. And honestly, it suits him well because he gives you treats from all over the world. And if you want to know all the region-based treats in Pokemon, watch my short right here. Student. There are 110 students you can battle in Scarlet and Violet, and some of them just straight up look like teachers, like these guys. Kamiko Aid. The Kamiko Aid trainer class belongs to Chobin from Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, who probably has one of the weakest teams in all of Pokemon, having just a Sunkern and a Magikarp. Robo-Groudon. The Robo-Groudon trainer class belongs to Chobin as well, who built this giant robot for the sake of a battle, so I guess he got offended by his pathetically weak Pokemon. Pikachu Fan. None of the Pikachu Fan trainers in Pokemon Battle Evolution use a Pikachu, or any member of Pikachu for that matter. So are they truly Pikachu fans? Sim Trainer. In Pokemon Coliseum and Gale of Darkness, Sim Trainers are basically puzzle trainers, where you have to figure out how to defeat them. Like Sim Trainer Logan, where you have to defeat each of his Shedinja in one turn, which sounds like a lot of fun. Guy. The most simple trainer class of all time is this guy. Like literally, his trainer class is Guy. What a prestigious title. And finally, for the last trainer class in this video, we have Shady Guy, where this guy has even a more prestigious title. He's not only a guy, but a shady guy, who looks like our guy Wes, but even shadier. And be sure to watch my One Fat Furry Pokeball video right here. And don't forget to download Raid using the link down below or the QR code to get awesome bonuses.